So we have got Link ECU goodies.
Lovely.
For this. This is looking good. What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Drift Games vlog. I'm wearing my, look at this, Games Changers hoodie.
Very nice.
But this isn't really a Games Changers episode. This is a weird episode because you guys will know that we film quite a bit and we put it out on the channel, but then we film lots of other stuff that doesn't go out on the channel, and then we ended up with loads of random stuff and we said, hey, let's put it all into one episode. But before we get to that, so I've got some presents from Link ECU for my man David Coleman. He's been building the K24 S15 you guys have been watching on the channel. We now have the Link ECU stuff to make it fire up. We've also got a couple of boys here today who are going to wire it, so we're going to talk through all the bits and pieces. He's really excited, I'm really excited. Thank you to Link ECU. Let's get out of the boot and get into Dave. Presents! Hello! So we have got Link ECU goodies.
Lovely.
For this. This is looking good. So this is the Street Dash from Link. This is their MXS 1.2. So this is basically replacing the gauge clusters on your car.
I had the same one in the R32 as well, and I have to say, brilliantly.
Like you had one in the R32, and just a little sneak for all these people at home. Not that I would ever say this, but if you bring the car to the NCT, it doesn't show all of the warning lights on the car if you don't want it to. Not that that's what I recommend or what Link ECU recommend, but just letting you know. So this is the brand new G4X. The Storm X, which is now their flagship line, which is the G4X, which I've been hearing a lot of good things about. It's a bit like, and I'm going to try and explain this in layman's terms, oh sorry, this is how it was explained to me, is that as you know, if you had an iPhone 2, it's a pretty clever bit of kit. It was a good phone, but now compared to an iPhone X, it's a bit slow. So the same thing happens with, you know, a lot of ECU companies kind of keep the same model going and going, but Link are kind of always trying to improve it, which means that this now is like your iPhone X. It's a lot more reading of parameters, I presume, is what that's all about. Now, obviously this is a very experimental build in Ireland, which is the case. So we've got, you know, it's all custom. So this is what you need a good ECU for, is to stop it chewing itself to pieces, essentially, and also making sure you know something's wrong before it's wrong, which saves you all the hassle. After this, now Declan, you're going to have to help me on this.
Right.
So
air temp sensor.
That's
oh
it.
Yes, pin kit, pressure sensor. So that could be either for fuel or oil.
A knock sensor. This is like connections for the ECU, I presume. A map sensor and a plug. And the one thing we're missing is a boost control solenoid, but that is on its way. I'm glad that you're getting a Link ECU, and I'll tell you why. Because it has to control a Honda engine in a Nissan with a BMW gearbox.
And my very heavy right foot is controlling it as well.
We're excited to see this. So what we're going to do with this car is we're going to put all this stuff in. Declan is going to put a GoPro somewhere or film a little bit of the wiring process in the car. Then we're going to go for the big startup. That's the next stage where it actually comes to life. Then we're going to take it to the dyno, and then we're going to see what it does power wise. And you're hoping for
600. That's what I said from the start.
600 horsepower from four cylinder. You got your work cut out, buddy. You got your work cut out. Dave's got all his Link stuff, but Craig has a new project, and it's in the other shed, and we're going to go check it out, and it's something a bit wild. So here's Craig. And Craig is pretty famous on the channel because he got the highest viewed video we ever did, which was like 1.2 million views. Nice. And he did that with a Pandem E36, which I now own. Now, obviously, you've got a new project on the way, and after going from a Pandem BMW, you had the option of doing absolutely anything you wanted to do. What did you do, Craig? A Pandem BMW. Pandem BMW. But it's a cool Pandem BMW because it's something a bit different. These wheels are ridiculous. What's the specs on the wheels?
They are 18 by 11 and 18 by 10s on the seat. I can't remember the offset. I think it's about -5 in the back, and then I have a 50mm spacer.
So it's -55 on the back almost.
Yeah.
Pandem life. Similar on the front. So this is a Pandem kit, but this is, I've seen a few of these on E46s, but I've never seen them with the facelift front. And so this is an M3 front bumper, I think.
And they never came with an M3 either. The facelifts were always, so a 2006 M3 was always pre-facelift, even though it was 2006.
That is a good point, yeah, they didn't have this facelift on it. So you put an M3 front bumper from their previous model with a Pandem kit for a car that doesn't really have one,
Yeah.
and some big gangster wheels, and here we are. It looks great.
Yeah.
The plan is to give it a paint, obviously, with all the kit on it. Do we have a colour in mind, or are we revealing that later?
No, we can help you. Estrial blue is what I'm thinking.
That'd be very nice.
Yeah, so
Do you know what I always say? Will one day, answer in the comments, will the wood mahogany that we all took out of all these cars become cool again someday? Usually things that aren't cool become cool at some point in car culture, but that yet is struggling to get anywhere cool. So we're looking forward to seeing this build come along. Yeah, I love the look of the car already. I think it's actually sitting really nice. Awesome, I'm looking forward to seeing this come together. We'll be catching up with this build on top of the White Arch Porsche, on top of the K24, which now has the Link. So we're getting a lot of projects on this channel at the one time, and all of our projects as well. But I did mention to you earlier in the video that we've done a lot of videos recently where we've started a video and things just haven't worked out the way we wanted to finish the video, and we ended up with loads of bits of footage. So I'm going to sit down now and run you guys through a little behind the scenes of stuff we haven't shown you before, but is really cool. So we were going to buy a car, and obviously on this channel you've known that I've bought a lot of cars in the last while. We film most of the time when I'm going to buy a car, but I don't buy every car that I'm actually going to look at. But we did go down the country to look at a car, and on our way there we actually picked up some really cool stuff for my Toyota Soar, which you guys haven't seen in ages. We will get back to it at some point, but I wanted to manually convert the car from a 1UZ automatic, which is what it is now, to a 1UZ manual with a Lexus IS200 gearbox. And I was like, who is going to help me get this done? It was an amazing company called LexiBrake, and they actually machine all these parts, CNC it. So let's cut to that, show you guys the setup at LexiBrake, and it's a pretty mind-blowing video. David's inside. I got in touch with him. He's the guy to talk to basically for manual conversions, things like that, for any sort of Toyota part. So we're going to roll inside, see what it's all about. I have no idea what to expect, but sure, that's the fun of it, right? This is kind of a... What was it? I was about to say, it doesn't look from the outside like there would be this very... So this is making the adapters?
What you're getting an adapter plate.
You guys make them all in-house?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Everything from start to finish, between the thought of it, designing it, source material, making it, finishing it, shipping it. Is
all in here?
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk away from this, it's very loud, and then so we can hear it. But so talk us through it. So what actually do you guys, what's your sort of bread and butter stuff that you do here?
So it is for medical companies, pharmaceutical, electrical companies, and military. So the likes of...
For the military?
Yes.
Really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it
looks nice. I can't tell you what it is, but it's an arm. It was a ball breaker of a job, so I had to make 16 of these. So to make one is grand, but repetitive for everything to be in the same position.
You know all we're thinking now is, what is this for? You can't say what it's for. I am going to say it's for some sort of mounting of a machine gun. I don't know if that's what it's for. He's not going to tell me.
Something like that.
Something that he can't say, but I'm going to say the only thing he can't say is if it's something to do with the military and something to do with shooting things. But so you're doing this alongside making adapter plates for manual conversions and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're here today because we want to see how it all goes together, but we have a Soar. It's automatic and it's okay, but it's a V8, and I kind of want to do some skids and have it do, be a manual, be more of a driver's car. And then I was kind of putting it out there to a couple of people that recommended you, and apparently you have the solution for it.
Yes.
Which I can see over here. So what is all of this?
But this kit would be for the J160, which would be the IS200 or Altezza gearbox. So it's an adapter plate that will bolt your UZ block, modified flywheel, a release bearing and a release bearing carrier, a spigot bearing, and bell housing then is modified. So yeah, so that's clearance for your starter, and these little pockets are machined out as well, so everything just locks together 100%.
So neat. And that pretty much, like, there's not too much, like, you've obviously supplied quite a few of these in the past. They work great. Because the IS200 gearbox is like the easiest one to get of all gearboxes compared to the 350Z box or the 1JZ box or the R154. Again, it's not a car that's going to run mega power, so I just wanted to kind of drive us. That's amazing, and the finish on everything is awesome. And what's all this stuff?
So these are all my Lexus brake products. So we start with their rigid bars for the rear subframe, so they'd stop your subframe from flexing. They're solid diff bushings. So again with these guys and these, you're making your diff and your subframe all one unit. And these then are subframe bushings. So they're an 8-piece, 4 on top and 4 on bottom. So you're making your subframe actually solid with the chassis of the car, and you're making the diff.
And are these for like IS200 or Altezza?
And Altezza,
yeah.
And some of the JZX 110s. I have all the manual bits there for you, the cylinder, the lines, the fork, pedals. So I have all them bits in the box there for you as well.
This guy, what a hero. He is big. Imagine now how much research I would have had to do on Google to try and figure out all of this. And this is amazing. So thank you so much for the help. The car is going to be definitely better for it. And as I say, guys, get on to Lexi Brake. As you can see, if you're into your Toyotas, actually, if you want even military stuff, which I wouldn't recommend, you can actually come down here and grab whatever you want. You kind of can do a custom job for anybody if needs be. And as I said, it's Irish made and it's a lot of passion put into it. So awesome. Let's get this into the van. And before we do, we are going to hound you and have a look at those cars outside before you go. All right. Alright, so Dave is obviously a Toyota mad, and we'll get through these 3 cars in a minute, but he's got a car in here he's working on. Now, he hasn't revealed the colour yet, so we're going to have to black and white this. We apologise, but that was the only way we could get to see it. But we actually just came out here for parts. We didn't actually expect to see any cool cars, but everywhere we go in Ireland into a back shed, we see something cool. So Dave, you've been working on something pretty special.
Yeah.
We're now moving into black and white world now.
Yes.
Look at this. But this one is a bit special now.
Yeah.
Talk me through so this was this a normal IS200?
This was a normal IS200. 8 years ago I started at it, back to bare metal.
8 years?
8 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and life has changed big time since I've started this car.
So it's been with you through all the thick and thin, this thing, and it's been building up. So you went back to bare metal?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are steel arches.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh! Look at that. Man, that is some attention to detail. Look at the bolts. Everything is sparkling. That is an unbelievable build. Like this is like the nicest one I've ever seen. Have we got an end time for this car? Is another?
Well, we're getting married in 2.5 months, so it's kind of has to be done for then. So,
do you know what? I've heard this happen a few times around Ireland now as well. You have to put a deadline on it, and sometimes if you can get your missus on board for that deadline, it gets done a lot faster.
Yeah.
Think about it. The thing about it is, and I always say it because I give IS200s and Altezzas a hard time. I only give them a hard time because of the way people treat them sometimes. But when a car is done this well, and any car, doesn't matter what it is, to this level, to that style, air, custom wheels, all that, that is just, it's a bit of me. And they're a good looking car to start with, to be fair, but this is like, you've improved on every single aspect. So this is the drift car?
Yes, so it's 2J NA out of an IS300.
So it's 2J NA, wow.
So again, we use the adapter kit, the 2J adapter kit we do to put the IS200 box onto that.
Ah, so you have a 2J, which is essentially non-turbo,
yes,
with the IS200 gearbox.
Yes,
so like a cheap way of getting a bit of power.
Yes.
And good car to go.
Yeah.
And then,
yes,
of course.
We bought that about 5 years ago. It's automatic NA again.
I think you should sell this to me because these are going nothing but down. These are, the bottom has fallen out of these in the last 24 hours.
Well,
I think.
I'll tell you now, wait on here till you see this. And you can ask her, can you have the car?
But this is her car.
This is her car, yeah.
Well, I think we'll do some hard negotiating.
Tell him, what's your car?
Dupa.
Right. And what's Noah's car?
V8.
Yeah. And what's Mammy's car?
And my dude.
Yeah.
We're not going to get the deal tonight, lads. We're not going to get it. She's too clued. She's more clued in than me. Can I buy this car?
No.
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 It was worth a try. Is this your favourite car?
Yeah.
That's your favourite car? You're right. And one day this is going to pay for your house outright. T-bar roof and stock as well.
Yes, yeah.
Totally stock. Look at this. That is immaculate. It's beautiful in black too, which is nice. Well, thank you so much for all the parts, and thank you so much for showing us around all the cars. I didn't expect to see any of this, so this is a bit of a surprise for you guys at home as well. Which, I mean, I would say this, but then I was like thinking that in there now is, and I'm very rarely going to say this, but I would actually take that IS200 over anything else here because it's spotless. So hopefully we'll get to catch up with you down the line again, see that when it's done. I'm sure we'll see it at a show when it's finished. We're looking forward to that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys at home are IS200 fans or Altezza fans, and I think that might be the nicest one in the country. Big statement, but I'm going to stand by it. But thanks, Dave, we really appreciate it. We'll let you know how we get on with the conversion. Let's hit the road.
Here at Drift Games, we absolutely love online drifting. But more importantly, for you guys watching at home, we want to get you in the game as well. So we've partnered up with digitalmotorsports.com, Ireland's first online sim store, who are experts in everything when it comes to online drifting. And they're going to give you guys a full free sim rig at the end of this series. Now I know you want to know how do you win, but it's quite simple. Every single episode of Games Changers, we're going to release a letter. It looks a bit like this. And that letter will form a sentence. And at the end of the series, the first person who can put that full sentence together correctly wins a full simulator. Now that's not bad going.
Alright, so we thought that was a really cool piece to show you guys. We got all the bits now for the manual SOAR conversion, and we'll hopefully be doing that in the near future, but don't hold us to it. We've got a lot of cars going on right now. Then on another day, we called down to our friends at Precision Tint Graphics to talk through the wraps we're doing on some of the cars and the graphic schemes that are going on our 2 drift cars on Games Changers. And we came across some of our friends, Kevin O'Connell and the crew from Origin Works. Those guys had just done 3 full wraps on their cars, and they're also kind of our teammates because they're also sponsored by Link ECU. So we're going to basically show our reaction to those cars, and they came out amazing. So let's cut to Precision Tint Graphics and the boys from Origin Works. I love these. We do reveals all the time. It's great.
It's weird that it's not our reveal.
It's nothing to do with us, actually. And montage.
Yeah, taking these chances. They wouldn't give me the answers, so I gotta go out and get it. I'ma hold them all for ransom. This how I planned it. Did it right here where I'm standing. Came from the mud, they counted us out. Now we standing on the planet. They don't know just what to do with me. Promise this is nothing new to me. If you came in here to ruin me, hope you writing out a eulogy. I was tailor-made beautifully. You can never find 2 of me. Look how I'm shining.
Alright boys, look at these.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the yes buddies. How are you, Kev?
I'm good, I'm good. Nice to see you guys again. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time, and this car didn't look as nice as this the last time I saw it.
Certainly not, Dave. Certainly not.
It looked quite, I'm not going to say rough around the edges, I'm going to say rough around the edges.
Well used, Dave.
Well used.
Yeah.
Warning.
Seasoned.
It was seasoned in warning, like a fine wine. So this is an interesting story of a car, because you owned it, you competed in it, you made your name in it, and you sold it.
I did.
Then you tried to be sensible, and then you bought it back again.
I bought it back again.
And then you spent more money on it.
Absolutely,
That's how it goes.
Once you get the bug, it's in your blood forevermore, really, isn't it? Absolutely amazing PTG wrap, designed by RA Graphics. Looks absolutely phenomenal. We're blown away by it. Origin Labo kit on the outside, and starting under the bonnet. Then we'll take a quick look. SR22. Yeah. Our old favourite SR, GTX 3071 turbo, running about 500 horsepower on pump fuel, so it's definitely good to go. As you can see, nice tidy loom on it by PT Motorsports, new edition this year with all of the Link goodies. A little bit of finishing to do on it, but again you can see the PT Motorsports centre console.
Super simple.
Yeah, and a full chassis harness on that too. So it really tidied up the interior of it as well.
Gearbox you already have.
350Z gearbox diff, and that's attached into a Skyline diff. So really has everything nailed down for drive.
And not overly complicated.
No.
Just does the job nicely.
Yeah.
I love the design. So you went with the orange and the blue?
Yeah, orange and the blue, kind of inspired by the old GT40s.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
But I love the look of this. Then we move on to Shane's. This now was very red, and now it's not as red.
It was very red, yeah. I was attached to the colour for the last 3 or 4 years. I really didn't want to change it, but when we saw the render and stuff for the design, I just had to go with it.
So it's 50 in front with the blanks, which I quite like. And this one you got for the red and black, so you kept your red theme in there.
Yeah, I wanted to keep the touch of red, so kept the mirrors and spoiler, and obviously my main colour I wanted to keep it red. So, there's something that isn't an SR20.
Oh, should look at this. This is way too big. No good.
So my RB25, fully forged engine, 1mm oversized pistons, 6 boosts, manifold, MMP SS550 turbo, As Kevin was saying, the PT Motorsport electrics wiring room is just insane. It was probably the best addition we have in the whole engine bay. It's so clean. We've Link everything. I even have ethanol content sensors here because I'm mixing an ethanol blend fuel.
Oh wow. That's a serious bit of kit.
There's a lot of work in the engine bay, yeah. 350Z gearbox, the CD009. A single plate sprung clutch, so nothing too fancy gearbox wise. And just a GTST diff and R200 rear diff. No, I don't have GTR diffs or anything. I think the clutch choice is kind of saving me with the sprung single plate clutch.
Exactly the same thing. You'll go through clutches, but you'll never break anything.
Exactly.
That's the way.
Patrick,
this is a very interesting set. I actually like, to be honest, I like the kind of 1V look. I'm a fan of it now myself, with the PS13 bonnet.
Yep. So this is a Ford SR20.
With the SRs again.
SRs with racing history. That's Ali Power's old engine.
Ah, very good.
Same again, all Link products. MMP turbo, funk turbo blanket. Keep the temperatures down. The engine's the main thing with us on SRs. Ryan Martin did all the fab work, so
he's alright. He's not great. Probably fall apart now. I'm only joking, Ryan. I'm only joking, just because you're not here. The Link dash is some centerpiece in these, isn't it?
We're all running the Fury X, so literally Shane can upload my map. If our ECU does something go wrong, he can pull my map, put it onto another ECU and go again. So it's all interchangeable. The whole 3 cars are interchangeable.
But isn't it nice when you go with the Link system that you know absolutely everything in the car is controlled by the one thing and made by the same brand? Exactly. So you know that it's all supposed to work together again, rather than back in the day you used to have like, this is from one company, that's when they're all, the wiring is like a big spaghetti junction, a bit like Kev's under the dash, I'm sure, when he got it back, all together going, don't touch anything, because I have no idea where anything's going.
Just break.
It just don't touch a thing. And now you've got it all super clean, so you know where everything's labelled, you have all the fuse box, everything is so easy. And that's the thing people don't realise, and why we do this, especially with Link ECU. Like, you're only running 40-50 seconds that matters. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of a drag car than a racing car, because if you break down in your battle, you're done for the weekend. That's the end of it, and it doesn't matter. Even if you call a 5-minute rule or whatever, if you don't have a simple system to go, right, that's the problem, turn it off, turn it on, cancel that error, you're just gone. Thank you so much for showing us the cars, guys, because I was just thinking, this is the first time you've seen them.
The first time we only saw them 10 minutes before.
And we've torn them all apart, look.
Yeah.
Take them all apart.
Explosion view.
And the guys here at Precision Tint Graphics, as always, knocking it out of the park. So how long, was it a week?
A week for 3 cars.
3 cars
that
in
was
a week.
Insane.
6 days, 5.5 days they had everything started and finished. It was
These
insane.
full wraps.
Full wraps.
So these aren't white cars with graphics on them. These are multicolored cars, I'd imagine, underneath. They look amazing. I can't wait to see the 3 of them now out on track together in a little train.
Us neither.
It'll be very cool. Very, very cool. Well, best of luck, boys.
Thanks,
Have fun this year. Thanks for showing us the cars.
Thanks very much.
Best of luck with them, and hopefully we won't see you crashing into us anytime soon on the track. We'll keep them all mint. Alright guys, so you've seen a couple of bits and pieces on this episode. It's a bit scattered because we wanted to get some of that footage out there that we had been sitting on for the last couple of weeks. Our next episode will be back to the drift cars, back to our builds. We're still aiming for May 4th to finish all of our projects, but this week we've kind of been leaving Ryan to his own devices to make sure he gets through the work as quick as possible, and we took Josh out of the garage because he was just annoying Ryan and he wasn't getting the work done. So we're leaving Ryan. We're going to come back in on the next few episodes, get you updated on the Corvette, the MX-5, the BMW, the Golf van, which is getting some more work done. It's getting out of hand. We have loads more projects coming up over the next couple of weeks. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, we got our Games Changers hoodies and t-shirts on the website right now. They are at a discounted price as well. So if you want to support the channel, support us, grab some merch. It's really nice, really comfortable, and subscribe to the channel if you guys can. It really helps us. Leave a comment, leave anything. Are we looking forward to Craig's E46? Are we looking forward to the Porsche? Or are we looking forward to Dave's car with the K24 and the S15? Let us know which project you're looking forward to most. Not to put them on the spot, but there's some very interesting different cars there, so I want to see what you guys think. Put that in the comments and we'll see you guys on the next episode.